Ave Dominus Nox, brothers, this is I, the Night Painter, back to you with another episode of the Night Painter Paints and Rants. Now on to the rant. Now, Guy B. Okay, so Guy B is friends with a certain individual who is the owner of a certain local game store here in my neck of the woods. That game store, I still haven't thought of a name yet, so I think I'm gonna make up a name somewhere down the line. For now, it's just going to be left unnamed. And as for the owner, we call him Goofy. So why Goofy? Well, every time I see him or saw of him, and he's always looked like a goofball. So I think it's appropriate we call him Goofy. Now, Goofy, like as established, is the owner of a certain game store and is friends with Guy B, which is, of course, to the advantage of Guy B because there's some Machiavellian bullshit that Guy B pulled off. He made Goofy, I think, the godfather to one of his children or all of his children. I don't know, but I think along those lines. That is the word on the grapevine. So, yeah, good for him. Now, Guy B is a what do we call in the gaming community as a win at all cost players. But of course, if you ask him, he's gonna deny that because that's always the thing about win at all cost players. It's just you ask them, you're whack. It's short for win at all costs. You're whack. And then, of course, they're gonna deny it outright to say, I'm not whack. I'm just chill. I just play for fun. That's always the thing. But the thing is, their idea of fun is them having all the fun while you are not having fun because you're getting decimated on the table. See, that's the thing. And of course, what he's always gonna say is that, well, I'm using what I forgot one of his reasonings. I think he's using allegedly he's using the most underrated list, whatever. And well, I don't know, but the thing is, he's always been a whack, right? And he's gonna deny that if you ask him. But again, he's whack. Everybody knows it. Everybody fucking hates him for that, except me. I make it sound like I hate the guy, but I don't hate the guy. I think hate is too strong of a word, especially under the context of plastic toy soldiers. Bit too strong of a word. So I think dislike is more appropriate with my feelings for him. And it's not like it's not like it's hard to dislike him. I mean, it's just easy to dislike. Some people do hate him, right? I've known of people who hate him, and I think they hate him enough, that they just stop outright playing Warhammer, stop playing Warhammer at that certain game store, just because, well, he's there, I think. And sometimes you cannot underestimate people's hatred towards you, so you have to always keep that in check. But well, I guess good for him, he says, well, that's just life. Anyway, since Guy B is friends with Goofy, and Goofy, as far as of all the moments that I saw him in his store, on the pictures on Facebook or wherever, it's like he's always surrounded by guys who need stuff. Like these, because unfortunately, I don't know what attracts these cocksuckers. It's just he's just always surrounded by these guys, fucking sleazy kind of, and sleazy guys that needs jobs. They have a job. It's just that I think they need job in a certain, like a game store. I don't know. I don't know why you want that job, but it's retail, so I don't understand why they would want to. But yeah, he's always surrounded by them. And the thing is that Guy B, I think, has um, Goofy's ear. I don't know but I think this is just speculation on my part, but it kind of looks like it. Like he has his ear. So if you want a job, let's say in that particular game store, well, you know what to do. Um, you need to fucking suck Guy B's dick. Of course that is metaphorical. Although who knows, huh? Maybe they do they do that, but this is just metaphorical. I mean, you get what I mean. You need to orbit around Guy B. You need to agree with whatever the fuck he's saying. And you just have to be in Guy B's you know, good boy list, in order to get that job. And unfortunately, that's what happens. And of course, that's why he has this kind of like a following, a cult-like following. I call it the cult of Guy B. It is a sort of a cult of personality, and it is a subgroup, believe it or not, in the gaming community, at least in here in my neck of the woods. There's a group. Of course, they don't call themselves that, but they are known to be from the cult of Guy B. Of course, I'm not gonna name names here, but Guy B is Guy B. So he has a cult, and unfortunately, you have to go along with whatever is on the program with Guy B. To be on his good side. And if you are on his good side, you got some perks. And for some people, they got jobs because of that. And for me, good for them. I mean, hey man, you gotta suck some dick. Hey, I understand that. But anyway, that's where the whole following comes from. Like, unfortunately, again, it all connects back to the conquest thing. Fortunately, in conquest, especially on their page, it's like they're sucking their own dicks. Like they're giving each other hand job or something. Unfortunately, that is the case. I think they're growing. Yes, good for them. But unfortunately, I'm a bit of afraid for conquest because again, you have a guy that is polarizing to say the least, promoting it, and of course, his cronies are known to be associates of him. So they are guilty by association. So unfortunately, they have this sort of stigma to them, and of course, it does affect the promotion of conquest. And of course, they say it's growing. I'm looking at them. They're the same guys. They hold events for like what, 4 guys. Last event they're holding it's like 4 guys fighting for something. I don't know, but hey man, you ask them, they are growing. So good for them. Just don't know how just don't know how big they're growing. I think, of course, yeah. You ask them, it's always going to be grassroots. Oh yeah, Rod, it's just grassroots. But I don't think so, man. Again, unfortunately, you are associated with Guy B, so there's always going to be that stigma. Of course, there's newer players that are going to be, won't know a thing or two about it. But of course, the other ones, well, me, I'm just here for the models. I don't play because, unfortunately, I'm not exactly on I'm not exactly on his good side, and at the same time, yeah, I kind of dislike him. The guy, the people that are populating the scene there, I mean, they're not all bad guys. There's some good guys. I'm not gonna name names. I think I'm gonna name names way down the line, but unfortunately, they have some assholes in there. Especially the pervert lawyer. I'm gonna have to think of a name for that. But guy looks like a fucking pervert. Like a fucking pervert. It's like he just oozes, the I'm a pervert look. Unfortunately, so they have some colorful characters. Yeah, but they're not all bad guys. So hey, man, especially for those who got jobs because of being associated with Guy B. Hey, man, all more power to you. Yeah, just try not to spend all your money that is being given to you by Goofy, buying Goofy stuff. Because that's not good. You're just being a pipe man. You're just getting your salary and you're just throwing it back at your boss. That's not good. Yeah. Anyway, rant's over.